In this video, I'm showing how to make a monogram in the Monogram It app, as well as how to add a shadow layer in Inkscape. I made this cute summer tote that I bought at Michael's, and just keep on watching to see how I made this, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I open up the Monogram It app and hit the plus sign. At the bottom, I click the monogram icon and I choose the first monogram. To unlock all of the other monograms, it costs 99 cents. Then I type out the initials on my keyboard. After that, I hit apply and change the color from white so that I can see the image after I save it. I'll click save and continue to add to the camera roll. Uploaded my image onto my Dropbox, then I downloaded it onto my computer. So now we are in Inkscape, and this is a free program that you can download onto your computer. And you want to upload that image into Inkscape, so you'll go over to File and Open. Here you can see our image under Downloads. You can double click that and hit OK. It's a little further away, so you can push the plus button on your keyboard to see it a little bit better. The next thing you want to do is select this image. You can see that it's selected because you have these arrows here. Then you want to click on Path and find Trace Bitmap. It'll come up with this screen, and you can see here you'll want to change scans to 2, and you'll want to select colors. So that'll show that we're doing 2 colors. Then uncheck Smooth and uncheck Stack Scans. Then you want to remove the background. After that, hit Update, and I'll hit OK and click out of this. Now we want to move this out of the way. This was our old image, and we want to delete that. This one here is what we had just changed. So now we have this selected, and you want to click on Path again. This time, go to Linked Offset. And when you click that, you can see there's this tiny little node here. When you move this, it'll make the shadow layer. But the first thing you want to do is click on a different color. So I will just select black. Now you can select this node and move it out, and you can see that it creates that shadow layer. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can adjust this however you like for how thick you want the shadow to be. So I'm trying to decide how I like this. I think I like it just like that. After this, I'm going to click this arrow, and I'm going to select all of these. Then I'll click on Path, Object to Path. So if you select out of here and move this, you have these 2 different images here. So I'm going to undo to move those back. After that, you want to highlight and drag over both of these. Then you can see there's 2 little boxes over these, so they're both selected. We're ready to save this so that we can download this into Cricut Design Space. So click on File, Save As, and you want to save it as plain SVG, and then hit Save. I'm going to upload my monogram into Cricut Design Space. So I'll look underneath my downloads here. Then I'm just going to save this as monogram. And then I'll just insert this into Cricut Design Space. And now I'm just going to size this. I'm going to make it 5 inches for the height. And you can see the 2 layers here. We have our shadow layer and then our monogram. And I'm just going to click on Make It. You can see that these are on 2 different mats. The first mat is the shadow layer and then my monogram. I want to mirror both of these because we're doing iron-on. So I'll click on Mirror, then I'll hit Continue. I have my dial set to iron-on. After it cuts out this shadow layer, it'll go down to this next mat, and then I will switch it to Custom, and I'll do glitter iron-on. So I'll just show you on my machine how I do this. I'm using Caesar EasyWeed, and I place that shiny side down on my mat, then load it into my machine to cut it out. Then I switch my dial to Custom and choose Iron-On Glitter, and I place my glitter HTV onto my mat, and the Cricut will cut this out also. Then I weed out my design. Also, I saw a few people using this nail polish holder to put vinyl in as they weed, and this thing is so amazing. It just really speeds up the time it takes me to weed, and I'll link this down below if you're interested. I set my temperature on my Easy Press to 275. I have the seconds set to 30, but with this type of material, I didn't want anything to melt, so I did 10 to 15 seconds at a time. This tote was on sale for $5 at Michael's, and I used a 20% off sale item, so I spent $4 on it. I placed my Easy Press mat inside of the bag. If you don't have the mat, you can also use a folded up towel. I preheat the tote and then place my shadow layer down on top of it. I measure with a ruler to make sure that the monogram is centered on the bag. Then I place parchment paper over my bag and set my Easy Press down. I test it first with just 10 seconds, then did a few more presses. I like to lift up part of the carrier sheet and you can see if the vinyl has adhered or not. And I just kept pressing until the vinyl was all the way stuck down. Next, I placed my glitter monogram on top. This took me a few presses as well, and you want to put quite a bit of pressure on the Easy Press. My black vinyl shriveled up a little, and I think that was just from pressing on it so many times. On this bag, it would probably work better just to have one layer of vinyl. I still just love how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and hit that notification bell if you want to get notified every time I make a new video.